The thing with leap year is this. We saw it yesterday. You and I saw it yesterday. Although I actually really saw it several weeks ago when I saw the trailer. Let me tell you what happens in the trailer for Leap Year, okay? In the trailer for Leap Year, there's a girl who wants her boyfriend to marry her. The girl is played by Amy Adams. The boyfriend's played by somebody else. She thinks he's going to propose to her by offering her a ring, but it turns out the ring is actually a pair of earrings. He's then going off on a business trip, and she's then told that actually on Leap Year, there's an Irish tradition that a woman may propose to a man. So she decides, this is all the trailer, so she decides to go to Ireland to propose to the lover, to the boyfriend who has failed to propose to her. So she goes to Ireland, but then she's plane is caught in a storm and she gets somewhere else. And then she has to make her own way to Ireland, and she ends up in a sort of strangely boggy part of Ireland that looks very, very much like it's come out of somebody's imagination, where she meets this kind of rough, tough fellow who doesn't like her very much, but he says he's going to help her get to Dublin.
We're still in the trailer,
You're in the trailer. All of this is in the trailer, okay? He says he's going to help her get to Dublin because she has to get there because she wants to propose to her boyfriend on Leap Year. He says that's the stupidest idea I have ever heard. She plugs her BlackBerry into a plug and fuses the entire village. She also manages to trash his car, so they have a difficult relationship, but he is still accompanying her on the way to Dublin. However, as they're making their journey, it's apparent that the rough toughness of him and the strange sort of out of places of her is somehow working its magic together. Then they end up in a B&B where they have to take refuge because they've missed other forms of transport, and they can only allowed to stay there if they pretend to be husband and wife. So they do pretend to be husband and wife, and then at a dinner party where there's some other husbands and wives there, everyone else is kissing each other, and somebody says, oh, come on, she's your wife, give her a kiss, and he doesn't want to because obviously he's just pretending, but then he does give her a kiss, and at that moment that he gives her a kiss, she realises that actually she has fallen in love with him. This is in the trailer. I promise you, this is in the trailer. I saw the trailer, right? I told you this before we went in, right? So she promises that, and then she realises that there's a tension, and then when they finally get to Dublin, there's this terrible showdown when she's got there and she's with the guy that she's gone to propose to, and then she realises that she probably doesn't love him because she's kind of fallen in love with this other guy, and then the guy who she'd gone to propose to proposes to her. And I made a note of it. That took us up to 1 hour and 17 minutes into the movie, which it clocks in at just over 90, right? So the trailer left 12 minutes of the movie unknown, okay?
So we get to that point.
Yeah, and blimey, I didn't expect the nuclear strike that happens in that last 12 minutes.
It's a surprise.
There's also...
I hope you got a clip, because I'm really looking forward to it.
Wait. There's one laugh in the movie. You watch this with me, right?
Yeah.
There's one laugh for me in the movie. Wasn't in the trailer. It is in the clips, though. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Listen, Bob. Not in America now. You're in Ireland. So, have a drink. Shut up.
I was just trying to help.
Help?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. The woman who's so desperate. She's deadly eyeing her way to Dublin, making the most important decision of her life based on some ridiculous tradition, which frankly is a load of old poo. So, thank you, but it's not I who needs the help, okay?
It is not a load of poo. It's romantic. It's really, really romantic.
There you go. You've seen the trailer, and you've heard the only joke in the film that I laughed at, which was the double use of the word poo.
Which is quite funny,
That's it, because the
and
word...
then funny when
the
Amy
word,
Adams is quoting Matthew Good.
Because she says poo, and he says poo. And so that's it. So, now, let me...
But you also did hear in that clip,
Yeah.
Matthew Good talking about her diddly-eyeing her way to Dublin.
Yeah. Well, also, it is the movie in which somebody does say top of the morning, in which everybody is,
And they all drink Guinness and they have country dancing.
Yes, they appear to have escaped from an Irish theme pub, which is entirely peopled by... everywhere they go to... I mean, it is, as you quite rightly said, as a nation, should sue.
Yes.
But now, this has been sort of causing some fuss, that Matthew Good has been talking about the film and is quoted as saying in an article in a British newspaper, the reason he did that was because he was near enough to home. It wasn't because of the script, trust me. He's also quoted as calling the movie turgid and saying, I just know that there are a lot of people who will say it is the worst film of 2010. He goes on, I was told it was going to be The Quiet Man with a Vaughan Williams soundtrack, but in the end, it turned out to have pop music all over it, a bit like Chasing Liberty.
Okay, so what we can...
And hang on, last thing. In defending the fact that he speaks out of turn sometimes, he said, actually, it's often just a result of my being in a situation where I'm embarrassed about having to talk about a film which I don't think is brilliant, but obviously I can't say that.
Well, full marks to him for being
Exactly.
honest and not pretending it's Citizen Kane. But based
Yeah.
on that information then,
Yeah.
and based on the fact that Matthew Good decided he wouldn't appear on the programme, I'm now going to ask the Matthew Good questions, and you're going to play the role of Matthew Good based on that information, okay?
Okay.
Matthew, welcome to the programme.
Hi.
What do you think of your new film, Leap Year?
I thought it was going to be The Quiet Man. I mean, with like a Vaughan Williams soundtrack,
And how did it turn out?
A load of poo, really.
Right. And what did you think? When you were acting this through and you looked at the script, how did you feel it was going to go down? I mean, how do you think people are going to be responding?
Well,
to
I think
this
there
film?
will be people who will say it's the worst film of the year.
Yeah. And do you think they're right? Have
I
you ever been in anything worse than this?
couldn't possibly comment. No.
What are you working on next?
I'm working on rebuilding my career.
Good. Matthew,
Thanks
very much for joining us.
Because he's brilliant in A Single Man. Now, this isn't just me. I get accused of not understanding romantic comedies, right? I think we have established that Valentine's Day really was a greeting card full of sick. You saw Leap Year with me, and I promise you, that trailer stuff, all there in the trailer, one good. Did you, hand on heart, laugh in Leap Year?
No. Oh, I think there was one.
No, there was
but I mean,
one-
I think the poo thing is
The poo
is
thing
quite
was funny, but you didn't actually laugh at that the first time. You only laughed at it when I said to you, "Isn't the word poo funny?" When said
The
twice.
people who go and see this will be much younger than us and female, I would think.
That's a terrible thing to say.
It's not aimed at
That's
us.
really terrible.
But there is a scene at the...
Oh, you're going to regret having said that.
No, I'm not. There is a scene towards the end where cliffs are involved.
Yes, right. And that's when you laughed. That's when you laughed.
Because I'm not giving anything away here, but where they're on high cliffs.
I'm going to give something away. You laughed at the suggestion that Amy Adams was about to throw herself to death.
Because the whole experience has
It's
been
been so terrible.
Because here's the point: Amy Adams is fantastic.
I love Amy
Matthew
Adams
Good is
generally, but-
fantastic. But together, at last.
In Leap Year, or Leapy Ear, as we shall be calling it from now on, or the word poo is always funny, but once is not enough.
And
it was a soul-crushing experience. And what really encouraged me about it was that it wasn't just me, you didn't. And at one point I said to you, have you laughed at all? And you said, I snickered once.